Imagine how many people died in car accidents. How about 1 million people died? 1 million people died from 1990 to today. That's a lot of people. That's a whole lot of people. 36,000 people died last year in an automobile accident. It's actually more than it was in 2018. More than it was in 2017. More than it was in 2007. Yeah. And it happened at a time when there are fewer people on the road. Fewer people on the road. We've got an epidemic. People are staying home. We're not doing the job. But people are driving drunk like crazy in 2020. Yeah, check this out. 1 in 8, this is just last year. 1 in 8 were found drinking while driving. People were found chatting on the phone, that's calling someone, talking on the phone, carrying out conversations in a big way. And these are all things that cause death. They're not accidents. They're totally avoidable. If something else is driving that car, something that is 100% into driving the car, 100%. It doesn't drink, it doesn't text, it doesn't get confused. It looks for everything, where it's going, how far the cars are in front and behind and on the side, and if there's anybody on the road. Half of the people admitted to speeding. Nearly 40% admitted to running a red light. 40%. More than 30% had trouble staying awake while driving in the past month. More than 40% read a text or email while driving. Yeah. These are all people who got into an accident and people died because of it. Yeah. And they found these are the causal processes. Big causal processes, not little ones. Process of these cars coming out automated is that they're right now, the automation, right now in California, there's at least 62 automation cars, companies that are developing automated cars. Yeah. 60 out of a total of 80 or so that are throughout the United States. And 62 of them are in California alone. Yeah. And out of that, we have, the companies that are coming forth in this. Right now, we have 1,400 self-driving cars on the road. Yeah. But this is all dependent upon people realizing what it is I'm talking about. This process has to do with data. Yeah. It is a data program. Yeah. So if you buy an electric car or any car and it has self-driving automation in it, and you have the choice, you click that click and you let it drive and you let your hands off the wheel and just touch it every once in a while. And if that's driving for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, taking turns, avoiding traffic, staying in the lane, that's data. That's data. And it will take us over 100 years for all of us to be driving safely with absolutely no accidents, to collect that data and get it into the cars so that they can drive the way they need to drive. Anywhere you go. Yeah, anywhere you go. Because you're going to want to go anywhere. Yeah. But if we do this data, if we have a car and we actually allow the car to drive itself while we're in it. Like here I have 2 Model 3s and a Model Y. All of them can drive themselves. When I'm in the car, click, click. Drive. You drive, As soon as I can. The moment I can allow that to happen, because you usually have to get up 20 miles an hour. You usually have to get into a location in which there's good service for your GPS, and then it'll drive the car for you, But if you don't do that, you're adding years and years and years into society of continued death. Continued death. Because this is something that's going to happen because it's data. It's going to go into cars free. It's data. But we have to collect the data. There's no possible way these dealers, these people, these scientists can have 1 million cars, on the road and collect that data unless we're on the road. We buy the cars, we use it, we upload, download new software, whatever it is, upgrade, and in that we're supplying all the data of our driving. And that adds up. We can make this thing in less than 5 or 10 years, where it could take 100 years. So with Tesla going out and putting all these cars on the market, and all of them have, in some means, an automated driving system, in some means, not fully. There's 1,400 out there that do have full, complete autonomous driving. 1,400, that's pretty good for the year 2021. That's pretty good. Because if you go back 3 or 4 years, you'll only see it as a test thing on a track someplace in the desert by universities and by the military, and not by people. And it just wasn't happening. There was no possible way, because it takes data. We don't have AI, super intelligent computer that can see all that stuff and take that information without having pre-integrated data that allows it to integrate with that data and have an interaction with an enormous amount of knowledge. So it's support. It knows what a person is. It knows the difference between a tree, a ball, a rat, a dog, a car. It could tell that it has to know the difference. It has to know, even while it's raining, even while it's snowing, all that. We need data. So as long as people are buying these cars, that's great. But I believe, you're not choosing to let the car drive itself. And it could be millions of people, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people out there right now with Tesla cars and BMWs and Cadillacs and all kinds of cars that drive themselves, but they're not using it. And it's not good. It's not just an option you use every once in a while. It's not for that. It's to save lives, and it's not for your personal. I click this, now no one's going to hit me. It protects me. It's not about that. It's about learning how to do that, so that in the coming years, it will happen very quickly in the car that we're buying, and the other cars will have them in it, because it will only cost a few $100s to have these things added to cars. They're very inexpensive. The whole system, it's built in. The system already turns wheels. The system already has braking systems. It already has cameras and all that. It's an integrated reality to what's already built in. So the cost factor is going to be so low, it's almost free with the car. It's just like seatbelts. How much are those going to cost us? How about that glass, that pop-out glass? That's nothing compared to the cheap glass we used to have, where we cut our heads off when we go through them. But we have safety factors, and that's what this is all about. Safety. 36,000 people died last year. 1 million people died between 1990 and now. 1 million people. These are all people who should be walking, talking, and having a normal life. They died in an auto accident. That's not a disease. That's not a military war. It is a freaking auto accident, an auto accident. And it's third in line to what kills us. There's cardiac, there's one other thing, and then there's auto accidents. Auto accidents. So this is really a big thing, getting this to happen. And it is happening. And there are laws put in place to where it's going to happen by the year 2035, the year 2040. But we want it safe. We don't want it 70% safe, where the car, you got to constantly touch the wheel and constantly be aware of what's going on. Blind people won't be able to drive then. Old people won't be able to drive then. There's a good 30% of humanity that need help.